Hello everyone, my name is Kris Gethin. I've been voted the world's #1 trainer from websites such as bodybuilding.com and governing bodies such as PT Academy. And today I'm going to go through a lot of your health and fitness obstacles that I've heard thousands of times from thousands of clients that I've eventually transformed. What is your obstacle? You're probably dealing with lack of motivation. You don't know where to start. You've started before and you failed. You've gone through a transformation. You've put on all the weight again. Or you're dealing with all of this shit that you can see right here. Well, stick around. I'm going to go through these obstacles and show you how to navigate through those obstacles in a very simplistic way with my guidance. Okay? So let's go through these. Work. Number one. We all have to work. We all have commitments. We all need to bring in the dollar bills to put a roof over our heads and provide for our families, okay? But how many of you use that as an excuse? You know, you work different hours, you do shift work, you work in 2 jobs, you don't have the time. Well, of course, you have to make the time. Now, I know that some of you have sedentary jobs, so you sat in your ass all day. That's not going to be good to contribute towards your health and fitness goals or your longevity goals. And you want to be around here for a long time, all right? But you want to be active and utilize this life while you've been given this life, okay? So you've been given this vessel. Let's make sure that we activate it, utilize it, and move it. And then kids. How many of you use that excuse? I've heard that excuse all the freaking time. I got 2 kids. I got 3 kids. Who gives a shit? You've got kids. Well, shouldn't you be an inspiration towards those kids? Kids learn by observation. So do they want to observe you being out of breath, being fat, can't walk up the stairs? No, they don't want that. You want to be a role model towards your kids and have the energy and the vitality to play with them, to train with them. You know, if you're going to take them to sports, don't want to just sit there in the bleachers and be that fat guy or that fat woman. You want to be there and be an inspiration while you're yelling them on. Finances. I know this is a financial commitment, but it doesn't have to be something where you figure, okay, I need to buy this car because it's plush, or I want to get an extra kitchen. And now because of that, I'm going to use that as an excuse of why I'm not going to invest in myself yet again. What is going to be the most important investment? Is it going to be that nice bookshelf, or is it going to be the car that you've got in the garage when you're on your bed in the hospital dealing with issues that you could have prevented? Exactly. You need to prioritize where you spend your finances and invest in the vessel that is going to be the vehicle that is going to drive you to the end of your life. But in good spirits, you know, you want to make sure that you have decent mechanics on you as you're getting towards your end of years of your life. And then physical health. Of course, we want to have physical health. We don't want to be dealing with issues as we're relatively young, because I hear people say so many times that, man, I'm 50 years old, I'm too old. Geez, I'm 47. I feel like I'm just getting started, and you should feel like that too. Don't even think about your chronological age. You want to make sure that you have a biological age that has vitality, that has energy, that is versatile, that is energized. And you're going to do that through your physical health. What are you feeding this body? Are you feeding it with products that are pro-inflammatory, a shitload of sugar that's just going to make you feel like shit and look like shit? Or are you feeding it with natural, wholesome foods with hydration that's going to give you energy, that's going to make you feel younger than what you are? And mental health. Obviously, over the past couple of years, we've had a very volatile world and a very volatile circumstance that has affected a lot of people in a negative way from a mental aspect. Now, you'd be surprised if you are sleeping at the right times, if you're following some of the biohacks that I suggest, that you're hydrating, you're feeding the body with the right fuel, you're changing your lifestyle so you're surrounding yourself with the correct social circles. Maybe you're doing some other biohacks, such as blocking blue light or doing cold showers, cold thermogenesis. You would be surprised how good this can make you feel. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, but I am a coach that has seen a lot of observational studies showing people that come to me with mental health issues, we can alleviate a lot of those issues, depending on where you are, where you're coming from. And then access to the gym. Yes, I train in a gym, but a lot of the time I train downstairs in a garage. I'm going to be going overseas next week, actually. So I'm going to be training probably on the beach, on my balcony of the hotel using body weights, maybe resistance bands. It doesn't matter. You do not have to have a bloody gym all the time in order to transform. Many times, especially like I said, over the past couple of years when gyms are closed down, I've helped hundreds of people transform during that time with minimal equipment. So you don't have to have the equipment. You just need to have the audacity to commit instead of justify an excuse. And then food commitments. Of course, if you're not cooking food, you're preparing food. If you're not preparing it, you're carrying it. If you're not carrying it, you're shopping for it. That's a huge commitment, especially if you're following a frequent eating meal plan. But maybe that's not the one for you. Maybe I put together an intermittent fasting program for you. Keto, carnivore, whatever. Maybe a vegetarian, plant-based. I deal with absolutely everybody, because if I give you something that's too strict specifically for you, are you going to follow it? Probably not. But there's a lot of value in what you feed your body. You are what you eat at the end of the day. If I want you to perform correctly, then I need you to recover correctly. Your recovery dictates your performance. So you need to eat the right nutrients in order to perform. But I understand it takes a lot of commitments, but we can navigate those issues. You know, if you have the finances, there's even food prep companies out there now that send food to your door, to your hotel, at your home, whatever. There are easier ways around it. But I tell you what, food prep once, maybe twice a week is easy. You just need to commit and allow me to show you how to do it very simplistic. Now, when it comes to social gatherings, there's birthdays, there's Christmas. At the office, somebody has a gathering and there's donuts there on a Friday. Maybe you're from a cultural background, Italian, Indian, Mexican, where you're having tacos, where you're having chicken masala or ghee, oily foods, because it's a cultural norm. Again, you cannot use this as an excuse or your justification of why you cannot follow a nutritious plan. I can help you elaborate a little bit further how you can explain this to your family and how you can still enjoy those foods, but in a healthier way. So for instance, when I was in India helping a lot of celebrities over there, they'd love things like the Hyderabad biryani, you know? Well, as we know, that's very oily, a lot of ghee. It's not good for you, a lot of starch carbs. I was able to help my clients have healthier versions of those, maybe cooked in an air fryer or something like that. So you can still enjoy those foods, but in a healthier way. Like I get cravings just like everybody else, but I'm able to feed those cravings that allows my brain to think it's getting a bliss point of sugars without feeding it the sugars, okay? There's a lot of tricks of the trade to navigate through that. And then health knowledge. Like, are you adhering to your circadian rhythm? Are you eating the right food specific to you? Now, we can go down a rabbit hole of blood tests, DNA tests, anything needed if you want to really hone in on that. But if you have a gluten allergy, if you like plant-based, if you stay away from dairy, I can help gain and garner that knowledge that you can apply to you. Okay, that's not a problem. But a lot of people are using this, again, as an excuse. I don't know what to eat. I don't know when to eat. When I eat that food, it makes me feel bloated. I don't feel good. I feel sluggish. Well, let's eliminate those foods then. You know, don't use that as an excuse. I've got brain fog. I feel bad, you know. We can figure that bit out. And then accountability. If you have all of this knowledge here, but you don't have that accountability to follow that through, then what's the point of that? That's what I'm here for, to ensure that you're staying on track. You're going to have weekly check-ins to go, okay, did I follow this correctly? Sometimes people come to me and go, yeah, it was a perfect week. But then when I look at what you ate and what you did, maybe you went to bed late, maybe you missed a meal time, maybe you had carbs in a meal that you shouldn't have had carbs or whatever, and I go highlight, 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 highlight 7 times, guess what? You have not made any progress through those 7 days. I can create that accountability to you. If you're feeling low in motivation, if you are for some reason you've had an argument with your spouse and you feel shitty, and now you're like, man, I just want to eat everything in sight to make me feel a little bit better. Okay, I can be that accountable buddy to you to ensure that you don't fall off track. Okay, now let's flip this board over a second here. See, I'm better as a trainer than putting this over. So, what do you get by signing up with me? Am I the right trainer for you? Who knows? Let's go through this information right here and you can find out. So, first of all, you're going to submit a questionnaire to me. I'm going to give you the questions, you're going to give me answers in detail. The more detail and specificity that you can give me, the more detail and specificities I can give you for that program. So there's quite a lot of questions in there. There's no rush. You take your time giving me the answers and the details, and sometimes more information than you think is necessary in order for me to compile that program. It may take me a while to put that program together based on that information, but that time is worth it in order for us to stay on the right track. Then I build a custom workout program for you, okay? With this custom workout program, we will look at your lifestyle, how many days that you're able to train, how much sleep that you get in, because I want to ensure that you're able to recover to train like 5 days a week. If not, maybe we bring it down to 4 days a week, maybe 3. But we're likely going to be doing cardio, dependent on your goal, on the majority of those days, okay? We'll go through your reps. We'll go through your sets. Maybe you've got weak muscle groups that we need to focus on and target. Maybe you've got injuries, and so we have to work around those injuries. Or maybe you don't have much equipment available to you, or let's say your gym doesn't have a hack squat. What are the alternatives that I can create for you? So we go through that detail specifically for you, for your gym, for your surroundings, for your body and your body type. And then we create a custom nutrition plan specifically for you. This isn't a cookie cutter program, okay? We need to look at the meals that you're eating, the type of meals that you're eating. Maybe you've got allergies. Maybe you want to follow like a controlled intermittent fasting protocol. Maybe you want to follow that, or we decide that it's best for you to follow that on your non-training days as opposed to your training days, because your training days are like glycolytic. So you're requiring a lot of carbohydrates at frequent meal times. Maybe you have insulin resistance. So we want to make sure that you are insulin sensitive so you don't put on fat and you're able to put on muscle. So there's a lot of details that go into that nutrition program specifically targeted for you. Maybe there's a lot of foods on there you don't like. Maybe you don't eat any meat-based proteins. We go through all of that. So don't even worry about that bit. And I recommend the right supplements for you. Maybe you're thinking, I don't need supplements. A lot of people do. If you look at the food that we have today compared to, say, 30 years ago, the soil has been over-harvested. The vitamins and the minerals in that food that was there, say, 30, 40 years ago is not there today. So a lot of the time we may have to look at supplementing as well. And if you want to increase your performance, if you want to increase your productivity, let's say you have a very busy lifestyle and you cannot eat 5 meals a day, but maybe you can have a couple of shakes a day, you can drink those meals, that's gonna really help you out. So through the discussion, through the questionnaire, remember that questionnaire is a live document, it can change as we go along, which it usually does, then we can target the right supplements specifically for you. And if you have the blood test and we can see that your vitamin D levels are low, your omega-3 oils are low, then we obviously supplement and eat the right foods to bring those levels up to balance. And then we have our weekly check-ins, obviously. There's ebbs and flows for everybody. Some people have a fantastic week and some people are like, you know what? I'll look at the program and go, this could have been better. This is what we need to focus on. Forget about that because you do that really easy. This is where you're struggling. So this is where we need to change things around a little bit. Maybe you're going overseas, you're going on holiday. I'm not going to have access to a gym. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to write up a program specifically for you that you can do with body weight and maybe resistance band. These are the resistance bands that I suggest, okay? So those weekly check-ins give you that accountability and it creates a live document to allow you to destroy any plateau that may come up, okay? And then we want to navigate your life's interruptions together. Who knows? You could be picking up the kids from school, but you twist your ankle as you get out the car. This has happened. A lot of things happen along the way. And I always train my clients to expect the unexpected to a certain degree, because the ones that get taken by surprise are the ones that come back a little bit slower. So we want to expect the unexpected because life happens. Let's say you were on a plane and you were delayed on the runway and you missed a meal. Okay, then what do we do next time to ensure that doesn't happen? So these weekly check-ins really, really do help. And I want to keep you motivated. I want to make sure that you get the best results possible, because your before and after pictures and your testimonials is my lifeline to this, okay? So I want to ensure selfishly that you get more amazing results. So selflessly, I can promote this, okay? And your transformations is what makes that happen. So the next step, direct message me. Yes, Kris, if you're serious about this, and we can get started.